It's more than just the modern technology.
It's more a reimagining.
It's far beyond anything I could have dreamed of it being over 20 years ago.
While keeping the original concept front and center.
Keep in mind that wargaming's roots are in strategy games. Before we hit it big with World of Tanks, we made turn-based and real-time strategy games. That was what we did. That's why we're called wargaming. Part of what we brought passion, and we also brought resources. And we merged those together with what is our idea of what Master of Orion should be. What could it have been back then if it had the technology that we have today? The first one was very good. The second one was even better. We focused on that game as the peak of the genre.
Oh, it's so good to see you again. You seem to have forgotten the Pride's Claws. A sharp reminder may be in order.
I think the critical thing that you can tip one way or the other very easily is hitting that sweet spot of accessibility and richness and complexity. So you want to have the game be easy to get into and hook you within the first 15 to 20 minutes of play and not feel like you have to read a 100-page manual before you can start playing. But at the same time, there has to be an unfolding richness and complexity to the model such that the landscape is always changing, the competition, the other races are throwing new surprises at you, and the challenge stays real and the challenge stays difficult through the life of the game.
War is upon us. The Alkari flock soars into battle.
I wanted to bring back that concept that Bill Willingham and I had, that these are not Earth birds that have gone into space and evolved into people. These are bird-like things that could certainly evoke Earth creatures, but they're not. They're aliens. They have strange shaped hands or unusual eyes, features that make them clearly alien. And that was the feedback I gave, and the response has been very positive. I'm really thrilled with what the end result has been. The ships in the new Master of Orion, of course, have been designed to match those individual races. And that really brings a lot to the game which wasn't there originally. The art team has tried to echo the mood and feel, culture of the different races in the look of their new ships. And of course, they're all done in CG now, which is the way things are these days, and not tiny little blocks of pixels like I had to do them.
A cat in gloves catches no mice. Playtime is coming to an end.
I probably started working on the story Bible over a year ago, and it started by reading every piece of existing lore that I could find. Even digging into some of the really strange fan fiction that's out there, just seeing what people thought, what they thought of the lore and how they were interpreting it. And then I was able to kind of let all of that soak in and try and come up with fresh and new places for these races to come from. And that took forever, but it was really fun. I think the most interesting thing from the original lore was the history of the Orions and the Antarans. They've gone through multiple wars, all kinds of crazy tactics, that the Orions created this bubble to trap the Antarans on their homeworld, and slowly the Antarans, just this truly antagonistic race, have broken their way out of it and sort of slowly circled around the Orion Empire and have been picking off those offlying planets, and I just thought that was so menacing and awesome. We were able to generate a lot of really great new content with the races. Since the original races were not fully fleshed out, we were able to go in and really, what were the beliefs of these races? What were their motivations? What do these civilizations want on the galactic stage? These were the kind of things that we were able to add in.
Your actions have the whole galaxy jumping like a cat on a hot tin roof.
The technology between the original Master of Orion and the current, this reboot of Master of Orion, there's no comparison. It's night and day. On the original game, you were creating MIDI files and they would stream whatever the user had for their synthesis. If they had some FM wavetable synthesis, even better, but most people just had FM synthesis. So it sounded like, we called it farts and squeaks a lot of the time. And our job was to try to make that as cinematic as we could for the time, and it was a very difficult job. So That is the big difference between that game and this one. So in this one, yeah, it's cinematic orchestra is what we're hearing mostly. On the old game, the artwork was very important for coming up with the style of music, and same thing with this game. We get builds of the game, so I can actually get in there and play the game, practice with it, run through a few things, and they always, fortunately, they send an artwork build of the game. So you can see the spaceships, the characters, their animations, see what they look like, and get their history. Plus, since there is a history now with the game, you can also get online and just read everything you can about a character and learn their whole history and what people think about them and everything. And so I put all that stuff together and try to use that to work on a various theme.
We really meant to make not just a clone, not just a rip-off of the original game, but to make the legend return to life, right? To breathe new life into it, to have that core philosophy, core vision of the original game.
Don't let the door blow closed behind you.